All right, so here's the deal. I'm still working on the AI differentiation between the different levels. So I'll be honest with you. The difference between easy, normal, and hard is it's not very discernible. On hard, yeah, you can kind of see it there. All right. So I talked about yesterday. Since I've re-architected this thing, and I'm trying to do it so I have a one streamlined central flow. I don't have like, here's all the stuff I'm doing for the blue player, and here's all the stuff I'm doing for the red player, where the red player is always the computer player. Since that's been re-architected, and the goal is to get a human player in for matchmaking via Game Center. So I did that. Then I went back and I redid the AI, and I'm tuning the AI again now. So with that said, let's go ahead and I'm going to pick the medium map. If you deploy like this, blue on west, the red player kind of has a slight advantage in all these maps, and that's because I never thought my AI would be that good, and yada yada yada. We'll leave, yeah. So the AI is at normal. So in this mode, I haven't got a selector for it. This is all the code's been rewritten a little bit to allow this to happen, but it's essentially hard coded that the blue player is not a player. He's going to be playing in easy mode. So my idea was I'm going to get a bunch of logs to see easy versus normal. Number one, do they run to completion? I don't have like a stalemate situation, that's another problem that I have. And does easy tend to lose more of the matches in the aggregate, right? But then you got to balance that based upon the map. So I got to do this two different ways. But I don't want to like and I'm logging a bunch of data. You don't see all the stuff that's going in the log. So we're doing a one of each against one of each map with blue on. So blue has two handicaps. They're on the west side of the map, so they have a slight disadvantage, and they are easy mode versus the AI is in hard mode. So chances are, it's normal mode. Chances are the AI normal red player is going to win. Let's just, and then I'm not dorking with the controls. I haven't like disabled controls, all that stuff. But let's just kind of watch it play here for a second. And the save game is it's only gonna work when the blue player is working, right? I used to have it, you could save anytime, and then I automatically disable it now, just because I don't want to save like a weird half turn and make it kind of weird on the load game. Alright, and let's just collapse this. And there's nobody over here, so let's just move it over there. And we can kind of watch it. So when you see these circles like this here, that means that unit is entrenched. Gives them a defensive bonus. It stacks with terrain. So if you entrenched in a city/village tile, you would get a
fire for effect.
Pretty. The king in the battle is the indirect fire.
Fire for effect.
That guy right there.
Fire for effect. Fire for effect.
So things that I'm looking for, I'm looking to see, are they trying to take the objective? That's number one. Number two is the indirect fire. Are they saving action points for infantry to spot so indirect fire can occur? Is indirect fire targeting clusters, particularly for the regular artillery? The mobile artillery, which is it's really better at direct fire than indirect fire. I'm trying to make sure that's kind of being used. He doesn't put himself in danger, get too close, because he has like thin armor. And lastly, do we have a stalemate, which tends to happen because the artillery doesn't. They try to maintain a. They have a min range, right? So that if an offensive unit gets underneath that min range, they can't attack it. So they kind of like move back and forth in that min range. And consequently, if it ends up with just two artillery units, they'll bounce back and forth.
For effect. Fire for effect. Fire for effect.
Do we have a guy here? Yeah. So he's, like I said, it looks like that's. Okay, now we've got to an artillery duel. This guy doesn't have any spotters and he's just kind of hanging back. It's odd. This one is considering trying to find a target, but these guys are not. I mean, he's on the higher difficulty level. He's just sitting there holding it, looks like. I'm not hitting, in terms of caps for possible moves, I'm not hitting fire caps. I'm not hitting melee caps. I'm hitting move caps. So it's like, it's not considering all the moves. So we've got a guy that prefers a direct fire going after a guy that prefers indirect fire. And there's no spotters, so in reality, this guy over here should be changing over. Alright, so blue lost. Let's see, what was the end result? Yeah, so you can see there were no summaries there for hits. There were move caps. What's that?